I want to talk about equality. Equal and fair treatment. Equal and fair treatment. And here's what I mean. So, look, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I don't lie to you on a daily basis. I realize that women's basketball is increasing in popularity. I'm not one of these dudes that overreacts to social media or to a feeling. I go more with the facts, right? And the feeling is, man, women's basketball is way more popular than ever. The facts are like, yeah, it's a couple of games, a couple of teams people care about. The rest is kind of the same as it used to be. And it's still, though there are more teams that are competitive that can make a run at things, the truth is there's like 4 or 5 teams that can win a championship and one that's the odds-on favorite. And the name has changed. It used to be Tennessee, then it was UConn, now it's South Carolina. Right? There's always just been a handful of teams that can win the whole thing. There's probably now, one clear favorite, 2 or 3 other kind of secondary favorites or whatever. And then there's like a group that's bigger than it's been in terms of having the possibility of winning a title or competing for getting to a Final Four. And while it's more popular than ever, it's like, how popular was it previously if the rights just sold for $65 million a year as opposed to the men's tournament, $750+ million a year, and that was several years ago. It's probably worth $1 billion now. But here's the thing about equal. Okay? People don't really want equal treatment. Because with equal treatment does not come overwhelmingly positive and wonderful remarks. It comes the balance of, hey, if something's not good, here's why it's not good, and it's got to be better. And I'll give you 3 instances over the weekend. 3. Okay. Obviously, the biggest one was the kerfuffle. It wasn't a Donnybrook. It wasn't a scuffle. There wasn't punches thrown. It was a kerfuffle between South Carolina and LSU. But here's the thing. I want you to imagine if that exact same scenario happened with a men's basketball game. Right? Men's basketball game. Because, by the way, that's how Kim Mulkey looks at it. You may not want to hear this, but this is absolutely what would be said if a guy was 6'8" and he went, and those standing up for a teammate went after a guard or tried to big dog a guard who was, 5'5" or 5'8" or 5'10". Kim Mulkey's getting lit up on social media for saying this.
No one wants to be a part of that. No one wants to see that ugliness. But I can tell you this. I wish she would have pushed Angel Reese. Don't push a kid. You 6'8", don't push somebody that little. That was uncalled for, in my opinion. Let those 2 girls that were jawing, let them go at it.
Right. And like what you have is I'm not going to say the P word on social media. You have people who are so far afield. They're so fucking out of their minds. Don't realize, like, that's what every basketball team I've ever been on has fights. Okay. Guys you love and care about has fights. And she's not promoting that you have fights. But what she's doing is saying, like, look, like, pick on some of your own size. You going to talk shit? Talk shit to somebody who you actually guard. Like, that's actually your job. That's how basketball works. Bigs are supposed to take care of the littles because they're big. That's what they can do. Now, it does point out the fact that Angel Reese, and I don't know if she thought she was being smart and removing herself from the confrontation, but she wanted nothing to do with it, went over, walked over, and sat down on her bench. So here's the thing. Okay? If we are going to make equal commentary, let's make it equal. It's a fucking joke what's happening. You had somebody's brother hop out of the stands onto the court? You imagine that happened in the men's game? Somebody's brother hops in like, what are you doing? Get the fuck off the court, you fucking idiot. What are you doing? There was an official, one of the refs, who walked away when they're getting into it. Like, what are you doing? It's your fucking job. Get in there and separate shit. Right? The assistant coaches didn't do their job, keeping their team on the bench. That's why all those ladies got kicked out of the game. You have a job when you're an assistant coach. Make sure they don't fucking move. That's their job. Oh, you're being too mean. You're being too harsh. I thought you wanted equal treatment. Because if it happens in a men's game, all those fuckers on the bench that sit there with their clipboards and they're the peanut gallery, like, oh, he's shitty, he sucks. All those guys, because that's a lot of the lower assistants, they just talk shit the whole game. The fuck are we doing? What's he doing? That's kind of what your job is, right? You're bad cop and the coach can be good cop, or you can be good cop and the coach can be bad cop, whatever. Your job is to make sure they don't move. They do not step foot on that court. Oh, stay there. Right? You actually practice these things when you're a coach. But the problem with the women's game, it wasn't ready for prime time. It's not ready for the attention that it's getting. They're way too flamboyant and talking way too much shit considering the product that they're putting out there, or even the fact that that's just not, that's like, it's like they're trying to be what they heard stories of the men's game being, and the men's game has never been that way. And it's amazing. If I'm critical of, why the fuck are you guys talking a bunch of shit? I would be critical of the men's game as well. Right? Completely. And of men's coaches, assistant coaches for not holding their team back. And of security. And of the brother getting on the court. Like all this stuff. But I will be told that I'm a lot of things that I'm not when all I'm doing is being fair. I'm watching women's basketball more than I ever have previously. I can't tell you that I'm a hardcore fan. You know, my brother coaches women's basketball now. I'm a lot more into it. I have friends that are in the women's game. I respect that some of these ladies are really, I mean, Juju Watkins is a great watch for SC. I mean, she is going to be amazing if she's not already. But with that attention comes, you want equal, you got to get equal. And equal does not mean that everything in roses and dotting your I's with hearts. Women's basketball has exactly 1 month of us paying attention to it, just like the men's game. You guys got to figure this shit out.